another most hotly, but probably the most longly anticipated bike in the motorcycle universe is the new Yamaha Tenere 700. We've seen it in quite a few rounds of shows now, Mark, I think.
It was here last year in a kind of prototype form, although, as I recall, it looked...
Possibly a show even previous to that.
Well, yeah, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it, this bike? Yeah. And as I understand it, dealers still can't get their hands on it for another period of time.
Sure.
They've spent a lot of time developing this motorcycle. Clearly, it's a hugely important bike for them, isn't it?
Really important. And actually, when we were out in Red Tread this year, riding off-road in Spain, it was one of the bikes that Ed was talking about quite a lot, actually. And you know, obviously, there's always this crossover between these adventure-style bikes being ridden on the road, and actually, you know, can you actually do anything off-road with them?
No, absolutely.
And this is going to be a genuine bike that you really can take off-road.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about this, didn't we, quite a lot with the new KTM 790, and I think the distinct difference, and probably one of the reasons why it's taken Yamaha the period of time it has to kind of get this ready and officially launch it and send it out to the dealers, is because they wanted to get the off-road aspect of this bike and its performance off-road absolutely right, you know. And honestly, looking at the bike, you know, when you make a comparison, and I'm not sure it's fair to make a direct comparison between this and the KTM, but when you do make a comparison, to me, this looks very much off-road orientated. I think when you look at all the marketing spiel and you sort of look at the promo videos, that's where you see the bike being shot right. It's not on-road. No. Do I think it will ride okay on road? I'm sure it will. You know, you're talking about...
It's got MT-07 engine, which is a cracking engine, twin, 75 horsepower, nice amount of power.
Well, I've obviously ridden that bike, and I remember riding that bike thinking, my God, this is superb. You know, it really does go well. Loads of character, loads of poke, loads of tour, lightweight. You know, low centre of gravity. So you would expect it to perform really well. You know, and having been out to the south of Spain ourselves, you know, the YZF 250s that we were riding only made what, 40 odd horsepower. Felt like they ripped my arms off those bikes. So when you think, I mean, the only thing we don't know at the moment, and I mean, we can probably speculate reasonably accurately on what this is going to weigh. But you know, we know the bike makes 75. It's going to have a dry weight between 150, 170 kilos. You would have thought. Yeah. You know, the other thing, of course, is if it's primarily an off-road bike, you're going to have to be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, you are if you're me. You definitely have to pick it up if you're me. So
yeah.
You know, I mean, it can't be super heavy. It can't, can it?
Obviously, proper off-road bike. Look at the length of travel on the suspension. This is going to be a proper tool. It's actually not that hard to get on and off. It's probably easier than the WR250F by quite some way to get on and off. But the other thing that I absolutely love about this bike, and I've not seen this on any other equivalent bike actually, is, you know, everything's stuck out that's meant to be stuck out. You know, like look at this handlebar between the front wheel. You know, you're going to drop this, and if you are going off-road, you will drop it at some point. You know, you're not going to smash all the plastics in, I don't think. I think it looks really thin, it looks really well considered. It's got a proper sump guard, not a nod to one. It's actually a proper, you know, this is going to be a proper tool.
Well, that's, you just mentioned it, how narrow it is. That's another obvious similarity between this and a kind of proper motocrosser, isn't it? A really narrow bike, a one-piece seat. You know, you're going to be standing on the pegs the whole time, aren't you? So, you know, it's very much focused on that type of bike riding. Although, you know, when you look, if you want to, there's a bike behind us with all the accoutrements on it. So kind of adventure prep, tar panniers, boxes, engine protector, additional lights. You know, you can dress it. It's almost like a Dakar type style, isn't it?
It is.
You can imagine just basically just firing it up, riding it in any direction you want, and it'll go there. So it's going to be interesting. It's just a shame that the bike's taken so long to come to market.
No. And just a final plug, Ed is going to be doing Red Tread. He's going to be doing the Tenere off-roading tours into next year. So I think he's taking bookings now for it, although the dates and all that are not confirmed yet. But you know, if you wanted to try one of these machines, I'd super recommend getting in touch with Red Tread about it. Of course. Do
you think if we mention it during our video, we might get the opportunity to go ourselves?
Well, that's what I'm kind of banking on.
So I think one of the other things that we're probably remiss to mention, and I know that the bike hasn't been officially launched yet, and nobody is giving any official figures, but I think it's probably sensible to speculate a little bit on where it's going to sit price-wise, and this is important, I think, because again, when you look at the sort of wider panacea of bikes like this, although I think this kind of stands alone in some respects, The word is, the whisper is, say it quietly, less than 9 grand.
Less than 9 grand?
Potentially.
Wow, I mean, that is really competitive.
And that's the first time you've heard that, and that's the kind of reaction that I had when somebody mentioned to me it was going to be less than, and you kind of...
So really accessible?
Well, exactly. You know, if you think you're a budding off-roader and you want to graduate from something like a crosser or something, you think about doing some touring, doing some off-road riding, you know, that, I mean, you know, you think what price is a GS, what price is an 850 GS? You know, we don't know what that KTM 790 is going to be, but you're going to be way north of 10, 11, 12, 30. It could be more once you've added a few bits and pieces to it, but under 9. Well, I guess, you know, it probably makes sense when you think...
It gives it some context, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Based on what we've been talking about.
Well, and I think this is the thing with Yamaha, you know, look at the MT range. You know, one of the things
really competitive.
Really competitive, really great value motorcycles, and this sits very much alongside that, so fingers crossed it is actually that price.
Fantastic. So, look, I hope you've enjoyed that first little look from Knox about the Yamaha Tenere 700. Can't wait to ride it. We've got all the gear to go with it. Please like this video, please comment, please subscribe to the channel too, and please buy some products, bloody hell.